Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, we're jumping right in today because we are going on a serious adventure. We're heading down, way down, into the pitch-black depths of the southeastern Indian Ocean. We're after an astonishing prehistoric mystery. Scientists literally just mapped this underwater world, and what they found is a massive biological secret that's been hiding in the dark for millions of years.
To really wrap our heads around the sheer scale of this discovery, we have to mentally travel down an incredible 7,000 meters. That's right, 7 kilometers deep, into what's known as the Diamantina Fracture Zone. We are way past the reach of sunlight here. It's this rugged, absolutely freezing landscape of deep-sea ridges and trenches just west of Australia. The pressure down there is crushing, and natural light? Yeah, totally non-existent.
So how do you even explore a place like that? Well, during 32 incredible dives in 2023, an international team strapped themselves into a crude Chinese deep-sea submersible called the Fenduze. Down they went, step by step, using these highly specialized, pressure-resistant robotic arms. They had to meticulously pluck delicate bone samples right out of the freezing dark, all while painstakingly documenting a completely alien deep-sea ecosystem. And then, they flipped on the submersible's lights at the bottom. What they saw was absolutely staggering. They illuminated this unbelievable 1,200-kilometer corridor that was just scattered with, get this, an estimated 10 million whale carcasses. 10 million! It's like a giant funnel. Researchers believe these massive animals naturally drifted into this V-shaped trench over millennia, piling up into a highly concentrated massive graveyard at the bottom of the world.
Section 1, the ancient Whale Necropolis, a 5 million year history. Let's dig into the staggering timeline preserved inside this deep-sea vault.
When we look at this graveyard's timeline, we're staring at a natural history that spans a mind-boggling 5 million years. On one end, you've got the oldest fossils recovered, dating all the way back 5.3 million years. And then, right on the exact same ocean floor, you've got modern carcasses from today that are continuously settling down there. It is this perfectly uninterrupted record of marine life and death.
The sheer shock of finding this is perfectly summed up by lead author Xiaodong Ping of the Chinese Academy of Sciences. He noted, discovering a necropolis of this scale was completely unexpected. The size, distribution, the depth, and the age range were far beyond anything we had imagined. And honestly, he hit the nail on the head. We really have to remember here, this is officially the largest, deepest, and oldest whale graveyard ever documented by science. No question.
Moving on to Section 2, a tale of two whales from ancient to modern. So, who exactly is buried in this massive underwater cemetery?
The biological diversity resting side by side down there is just incredible. On the one hand, you have ancient giants, like a newly discovered extinct species that they actually named Pterocetus diamantini after the fracture zone itself. But then, sharing that exact same graveyard, researchers found the remains of a modern 5-meter-long Antarctic minke whale. It's literally a bridge connecting ancient oceans to the ones we sail today.
And when you look at the older remains, the preservation is stunning. I mean, they found the impeccably preserved fossil skull of a specific beaked whale, Pterocetus benguele, dating back 5.3 million years. It acts like a perfect biological time capsule. It lets paleontologists study the anatomy of prehistoric marine life that sank into this freezing dark vault long before modern humans even existed.
Which brings us to Section 3, Life After Death, an oasis in the abyss. Because, this explainer isn't just a story about death. To really understand this ecosystem, we have to talk about what scientists call a whale fall. Basically, when a dead whale sinks to the seabed, it brings thousands of pounds of organic matter straight into a starving deep ocean. It is essentially the ultimate deep-sea buffet. It transforms a completely barren floor into a bustling, thriving underwater city. And let's look at the residents of this city. Through the submersible's cameras, scientists documented these vibrant, active communities feeding on the nutrients from the carcasses. We're talking jellyfish, brittle stars, crustaceans, bivalves, and these crazy specialized bone-boring worms. Study co-author Peng Zhou talked about how transformative it was to witness these bizarre, often totally undocumented creatures just flourishing in an environment that is otherwise relentlessly cold and completely devoid of food. I mean, a lot of these might even be brand new species.
These bustling little cities actually serve a much wider, vital role. Scientists call them stepping stones of the deep. Kind of like hydrothermal vents or cold seeps, these incredibly dense biological communities act as vital outposts. Since these whale falls are scattered heavily all along that 1,200-kilometer corridor, they literally serve as stepping stones, linking together deep-sea ecosystems that would otherwise be completely isolated across the vast, empty ocean floor.
Section 4. Deep Sea Carbon Vault, the Ecological Impact. So, why does all of this matter on a global scale? 6.7 million tons. That number is just absolutely staggering. According to the study, the soft tissues and lipids from those estimated 10 million carcasses represent roughly 6.7 million tons of sequestered carbon. That is a massive, massive amount of carbon permanently locked away at the bottom of the ocean, safely kept from ever re-entering our atmosphere.
This enormous vault of organic matter really shows us how deeply interconnected these whales are to our global climate systems. By studying the carbon locked away down there, researchers can actually better understand deep-sea climate change. They can track historical shifts in our ocean's temperature and chemistry over millions of years. So this graveyard, it isn't just some ancient curiosity. It is actively regulating our planet from 7 kilometers deep. These whales are continuing to serve the Earth long, long after they pass.
And finally, Section 5, the unexplored frontiers, what lies beneath. As we wrap up today, we really have to ask what this incredible discovery means for the future of ocean exploration.
Marine paleontologist Stephen J. Godfrey made a really great point about this. He said, the site is likely to yield many more important findings despite its extreme depth and limited accessibility. And what's so exciting about that is even after 32 complex dives by that Fenzhoujet submersible and its robotic arms, we have barely scratched the surface of what this one specific 1,200-kilometer corridor can teach us.
Which brings us to a question I want to leave you all with today. What else lies hidden in our unexplored ocean trenches? Think about it. If a massive 5-million-year-old graveyard containing 10 million whales could remain a total secret until right now, it leaves us with one thrilling thought. In the pitch black of the deep ocean, what other ancient, breathtaking mysteries are just waiting in the dark for us to shine a light on them?